What's cooking, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And today I'm going to be doing my predictions for UFC 330, or to be more accurate, my predictions for Ian Garry versus Islam Makhachev, because this card is fucking dog shit. Like, this is definitely the worst card of the year. Like, worse than Holloway Oliveira. And that wasn't a great card. This is probably the worst card we've gotten since 312. I don't know if it's as bad, but it's still pretty bad. Like, I'm not even going to bother doing predictions for most of the card. Like, here's my predictions. Mackenzie Dern wins. Esteban Ribovic wins. Vicente Luque wins. Jalen Turner wins. There. You happy? I'm not going through the entire fucking card. They seriously couldn't get Michael Morales on this card? Jesus. I mean, he's waiting as the backup. They couldn't get him to fight literally anybody. Hell, they could have done him versus Gabriel Bonfim if Prates wasn't going to fight, or, I can't say his name, Yugas. Hold on, let me check one sec. Yaroslav Amazov. Amazov. Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce the name. I can't fucking say that shit. But yeah, they couldn't get Morales a matchup on this card. Like, seriously. Instead, the best fight on this card outside of the main event is Edson Barboza versus Esteban Ribovic. But I guess let's not waste any more time. Let's just get into my prediction for the main event. And yeah, I'm not going to waste anyone's time. I'm picking Islam. Now, Ian Garry definitely can win this fight. I mean, we saw the face-off today. We saw the height difference isn't as much as we thought. But, I don't know, maybe Islam's... They've also got shoes on, so I guess there is that. I don't know, we'll see on fight night or when they actually do face-off for the weigh-ins. But, again, given the size difference isn't as big as we thought, I think Islam's going to be able to get this one done. Like, Ian Garry, he does have good grappling. Like, he was able to take down and get Shavkat back and nearly submit Shavkat. But I also thought Shavkat's grappling was kind of overrated. He still did get taken down by Shavkat and get reversed after that. He also got taken down by MVP at one point. Well, actually, I don't know if he was taken down. I think he was reversed. I can't remember. That fight was just such a fucking snooze fest. He even got reversed by Prates. So I'm not putting too much stock into his grappling. I think if those guys can have success on the ground against Ian Garry, and they're not exactly grapplers, especially MVP, I think Islam's going to have a field day with this one. Not to mention, I don't think Ian Garry's going to lay on the bottom and just accept bottom position like Jack Della Maddalena did. I mean, maybe when he's at home with his wife and her ex-husband, he might accept being on bottom, but against Islam, I don't think so. I think he's going to try and scramble back up. And I think in doing so, he's going to give up his neck in the process. This is kind of what I predicted JDM to do, so maybe he doesn't do that. But no, I think Ian Garry's going to try and scramble up to his feet. Now, yeah, he didn't get taken down by Bilal, but that was also only a 3-rounder. Like, JDM didn't get taken by Bilal until the later rounds. People forget that part. And JDM had a more impressive performance against Bilal, a better version of Bilal. And even then, Bilal was able to get deep on some takedowns a few times. And I do think Islam has better overall grappling than Bilal. Maybe not better wrestling, but he has better judo and better sambo and just overall grappling. And if he does get Ian Garry down, which I think is likely, come on, it's going to be a world of trouble for him. He's going to be far better on the ground. He's far better than anyone Ian Garry has faced on the ground. The best guy Ian's faced on the ground is Shavkat, and he lost that fight, and he got out-grappled. I mean, yeah, he wasn't in any actual danger, but he still got out-grappled, and I mean, JDM wasn't really in danger against Islam, and yeah, he got ragdolled for 5 rounds. So I think the grappling is heavily going to favor Islam. I do think Ian might be able to stuff a takedown or two, unlike JDM, maybe even get back to his feet. But I think Islam's going to be able to drag him back down because of his striking as well. I think he's going to be able to use his striking to just keep up with Ian Garry and eventually get in on a takedown and take him down. Now let's talk about the striking. I do think the striking obviously favors Ian Garry because he's a lot taller and rangier than Islam. Especially that jab, I think, can be a problem. Dustin Poirier was able to land that jab on him, but it is also southpaw orthodox, so it could make things a little bit trickier. And we saw Ian Garry kind of hesitant on the feet against Shavkat, a guy who presented a grappling threat. Like, Ian Garry is a very good striker, but he's not he's not untouchable on the feet. Like, he has been outstruck by MVP. He was getting outstruck by Shavkat. Even at times, it was close with Bilal, well, I wouldn't say it was close, but Bilal had moments on the feet. I know they're all different stylistic matchups, but let's just not talk about Ian Garry like he's just this untouchable god on the feet. Not to mention, he has no finishing threat on the feet or on the ground. Yeah, on the feet, on the feet, he kind of, if he gets the perfect shot, like in his debut or against Daniel Rodriguez, but other than that, if you don't give him the finish on a silver platter, or you're not just a complete bum, he's not going to be able to finish you. And I think if JDM, who has far more power than Ian Garry, couldn't really hurt Islam on the feet, and there was a couple of times where he was landing on Islam, like he landed in the first exchange of the fight, and even in round 3 at one point he started unloading, only to get taken down. But if JDM couldn't really hurt Islam, I don't think Ian Garry's going to be able to either, unless he lands a pitch-perfect head kick, which could maybe be a factor, especially given Ian Garry's a taller fighter. But I also think him kicking is going to open up takedowns for Islam, which is why I think maybe Ian might be able... Well, actually, no, Ian's probably going to kick, but like I said, it could backfire, and Islam could take those kicks away by just timing takedowns off of him, and that could make him hesitant to kick in the later rounds, if it does reach there. Another thing I don't like for Ian Garry is that he's made it way too close in some of these fights. I mean, yeah, he's obviously looked a bit more dominant recently, but he went to a split decision with Jeff Neal. That hasn't aged well. He arguably lost to MVP. That's aged kind of well, but then again, MVP hasn't really fought any top contenders because the UFC are kind of fucking him over. I don't know what's going on there. But even then, he took Neil Magny to a decision. Like, he's been to a lot of decisions. And he lost to Shavkat. I mean, yeah, it's Shavkat, but he still lost. Like, he talks about himself like he's this unbeatable god, and yet he's going to 29-28 split decisions with Jeff Neal. Like, there's nothing wrong with going to decision as long as you're dominant. I mean, Volk goes to decision most times, and he's pretty dominant. Even Holloway as well goes to a lot of decisions, and Whitaker as well, but they dominate. Ian Garry kind of just touches and pitter-pats and has basically just a karate point sparring match every fight. Like, I just don't think that style's enough to beat Islam. If you're gonna beat Islam, you need to be someone like Prates who can fucking snipe him, or someone like Michael Morales who's fucking huge and can just overwhelm him with brute force. I don't think Ian Garry just tip-tapping at range is... I just don't think that's the style to beat Islam. He can't do that for 5 rounds without Islam taking him down or closing the distance or making it ugly or doing something to turn the tide in his favor. He might be able to do it for a round or two, but eventually Islam's going to catch on, and I think he's going to be able to get him. Like, it sounds basic, but I just think Islam's going to get him. Like I was saying earlier, Islam's also no slouch on the feet, so he's going to be able to keep it competitive. I mean, if he could outstrike Volkanovski and Poirier on the feet, and keep in mind, lighter man's skill's a real thing, I do think if he can get in close, he's going to be able to outstrike Ian Garry. At range, yeah, I think Ian Garry wins that because he's taller, rangy, and that's just his style. But once Islam closes the distance, I think he's going to have success. I also think that body kick could be there for both of them, potentially, but especially Islam as well. I think he's going to throw that body kick in this fight, especially since it's a southpaw orthodox. I can see him utilizing the clinch a lot and just using that to get takedowns. And yeah, overall, I just think he's going to be too skilled and too well-rounded for Ian Garry. Ian Garry is quite skilled himself, but I just think Islam's a step above. To beat a guy like Islam, you need some kind of threat, like some kind of KO power or submission ability, and Ian Garry just doesn't have that. Like I said, it's going to take a Morales or a Prates or an Amasov to beat him. Not someone like Ian Garry who's a point fighter. And also, if Ian Garry wins, I will fucking neck myself. Like, this would genuinely be the death of the sport to see this cock, this soy boy beta male cock, have a UFC belt wrapped around his waist. Like, we just can't have this guy representing our sport, okay? It's not a good look. Like, say what you will about Islam, yeah, he's boring, but at least he's fucking based. Like, earlier today, he was saying how you tell your wife something, not ask him. Fucking based Islam, whereas Ian Garry's like, I think women should rule the world. Like, bro, the only thing women should rule is a kitchen. If women ruled this world, bruh, the world would come to an end in like 3 days. Though we wouldn't have to worry about nuclear war, so long as we put the launch codes in a pickle jar, then that way they won't be able to open it. But yeah, no, women should not rule the world. The only thing they should rule is a kitchen or a daycare. Ian Garry, grow some fucking balls. But yeah. Overall, my prediction is going to be Islam Makhachev by, I'm going to say, a third round submission. I think it'll be kind of competitive for the first round. They'll kind of feel each other out. Maybe Islam gets a takedown. Maybe Ian gets back up. Round 2, the tide starts to turn where Islam starts to get takedowns more and more. And then round 3, he gets Ian Garry down. Ian tries to scramble up, gives up his neck, and Islam catches him in a DOS or some shit like that. But yeah, that's my prediction for this fight. And no other fight on this card is really worth a breakdown. But yeah, that's my predictions for UFC 330. Fucking trash-ass card. Ugh. 331's at least a step up. It's not the greatest card, but it's better than this shit. Even the UFC Noche card's better than this. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please like, please subscribe. Please check out my last few videos, especially my last MMA fight. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.